YouTube as a platform is a competitive space. You know, you've always got to keep up, you've always got to be talking about the hot topic, uploading regularly, you know, keep on a schedule and all that stuff. There's a lot of sort of different challenges that can maybe bring you some variations of success if done right. I'm very bad at some of these things, especially the regular schedule thing. I was on a weekly thing for a little bit before, but I kind of dropped off again. It's hard. It's challenging. Is basically what I'm saying. And I think that's what the point of this video is going to be. So this video that I'm shooting right now, that you're watching currently, is going to be kind of a sequel, a follow-up to that video that I put up a few months ago that you might have seen, where I was talking about comparing myself to others. This video is going to kind of have the same vibe, the same tone as that video. Hopefully, that's the intention anyway. So if you like that video, you know, stick around. Hopefully you'll think that of this one as well. So the main kind of thing and my starting off point that I wanted to talk about, this is kind of my prompt for this video and then we'll see where it goes from there, is this idea of keeping up on the site. And I'm sure it not only reflects YouTube, but other sorts of, you know, blogs and lots of different creative areas as well. I'm sure others will be able to relate to this. But mainly, and from my perspective, I'm going to be talking about, you know, doing movie reviews and that kind of stuff on YouTube. What prompted me to wanting to do this video in the first place was something that I've been thinking about a bit lately. And it's kind of this personal issue, I guess. It's not really an issue, but it's something that I've noticed lately where I see a lot of people who also do movie reviews and stuff, bigger people than me, on a similar level to me. Everybody is doing lots of trailer reactions. Everybody is a lot better at me at doing kind of engagement and talking about movie news with everybody all the time. Everybody is a news source. If you've got a friend online, they're most likely going to be some sort of a news source for you in a way. Not like you're using them or anything, but I see a lot of movie news from a lot of people that I'm friends with online. And that got me thinking, like, if you look at me, and this may have something to do with the amount of followers I have, and maybe I should try and do this a little bit more, actually. Yeah, I see a lot of movie news. I see a lot of articles. As soon as I see somebody cast in something or some big update for an upcoming movie or something, you know, like, for example, Batman's coming out starring Robert Pattinson. I think not for another 2 years, but still, every single time somebody gets cast in this goddamn movie, there's 20 articles or more, like, within a minute. Like, I'm just scrolling through a whole bunch of them. Every time there's a new trailer for a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie or one of those top tier type of franchise movies, everybody has a reaction, everybody has some sort of news about it, everybody's doing videos pointing out things that you might have missed, all that kind of stuff, and I typically don't. And that's because I have trouble getting, like, super excited about every single piece of news that comes out. I feel like it comes naturally to a lot of other people who are doing similar stuff to me. But I don't often get the urge to share the news with everybody else. I don't view myself as a news source. I feel like the people that follow me and stuff will already know or will not care because they follow me for another reason. And maybe that's a confidence thing, you know? Maybe I think that, like, oh, nobody cares, everybody's beaten me to it, so I shouldn't bother. But I don't know, if it's going to help with engagement and if it's going to encourage conversation about the things that I care about, because oftentimes I do care about this news and would like to talk about it. It's just that I'm maybe not as hyped about every single thing as everybody else seems to be. But again, like, that's nothing bad. And in fact, I commend all these people that stay this enthusiastic about everything, because I find the enthusiasm challenging. Something else that I wanted to add about talking about not getting excited for all this movie news and trailers every single time is that it kind of makes me feel like a fraud sometimes. Like, it makes me feel like I'm part of this community, like I should be as excited as everybody else. And when I'm not, when I don't care that somebody has been cast as fucking Alfred in a Batman movie, when I don't really care that some movie has been announced that's not coming out for another fucking 5 years, and, like, I'm not seeing any tangible, actual kind of, you know, footage or anything. Like, I feel like I'm kind of a hypocrite. I feel like, am I not a movie lover? Am I not worthy of running a YouTube channel like this? Am I am I a fraud? I basically start to feel like that sometimes when everybody else is going on about the new hot fucking topic when it comes to movies. But when I use actual logic, when I look at it in retrospect, I'm like, no, I love movies, of course I do. I don't know. Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to add that. But yeah, so I've noticed it recently a lot with that Batman movie coming out. Yeah, like everybody has something to say all the time. And that's the internet for you, I know. And I feel like sometimes I just feel like I don't always have something to say. And maybe that's an issue. I don't know. But that being said, with my last few videos that have come out and everything, they've been kind of more personal, kind of more only I'm doing it at the moment type of stuff. I hope anyway. I hope that's what people are thinking. Not that I've got like heaps of views or anything, but like the people that have watched, I hope they've kind of taken notice of that. Because I am trying to do kind of slightly different stuff. I mean, it's not majorly, crazily different and original and stuff. It's still me talking about movies on camera, but I don't know. I'm trying to not do... And I never really did, but I'm trying to not fall into having to feel the obligation of doing a video for every news thing that comes out, if that makes sense. Same goes for movie reviews and stuff. I think I've spoken about that before in a video. Like, I don't always want to be doing the same movie review that everybody else is, because, like in 5 years, if somebody comes up on my channel just randomly and then, all my videos are like, I mean, just for example, reviews of like Terminator, Dark Fate, and Gemini Man, just movies that people don't give a shit about and won't give a shit about in another 5 years, it's just going to make my channel kind of irrelevant, and I don't want to waste my time. And again, I'm not attacking anybody some of my favorite YouTubers, people that hugely inspire me, do all that stuff and keep up with every single new movie that comes out, and good on them. That's a crazy amount of effort. And the reason that I feel like it would be a waste of time for me is because I take so goddamn long on each video. But the people that are roughing it out and getting them out daily and all that kind of shit, good on them. I just can't keep up. And yeah, so that brings me back to that feeling like I can't keep up with everything. I can't keep up with excitement, and I can't keep up with movie news all the time. I'm not always going to care when a title font came out. I remember when Thor Ragnarok got the poster and everybody was excited about the title. And I'm like, yeah, cool, I guess. I need to see something more tangible before I decide anything. But that's just me personally, I guess. But yeah, I often find it hard when I watch a trailer even when I do see something more tangible. I find it hard to be that excited for it, often because it's either something like a Star Wars movie where I'm like, yeah, I knew what to expect. This looks exactly like what I thought it would. Or it's like some other movie where I'm like, yeah, okay, I mean, that looks all right. I feel like trailers don't surprise me that much. I mean, unless it's something that's coming out that's really original and something that really interests me, that I'm really looking forward to. I feel like I usually know what to expect from most trailers. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get the fade to black like constantly throughout the whole thing. You're gonna get the Inception sound and all that shit. You're gonna get some dramatic line that's not said during the scene that they're showing. You're gonna get some kind of mislead making it look like a character is gonna die or something. And then the last 30 seconds is gonna be action, fast-paced shit. And then boom, the epic title. All trailers feel pretty similar to me, depending on the genre and depending on what kind of movie it is, of course. But still, even then, like, often trailers do feel pretty damn similar. And again, that's not really an attack on trailers, because I think that they are I think they're a form of art in a way. I know that they're kind of the opposite, because they are, by definition, exclusively promotional and made for money. But I think that the people who make them, I envy their jobs. I think that it would be fun as hell to make. And I enjoy them, but I don't always feel super surprised by them. And I don't always feel like they change if I'm going to see a movie or not. I usually make up my mind by looking at the ratings on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, seeing who the director and writer is, seeing who's in it, and posters and stuff. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but if you look at all these kinds of details, I feel like I have a pretty good judgment on what I'm going to think of a movie. And I don't always feel like the trailer is the best representation, because, I mean, yeah, obviously by definition, they're very misleading. They're just trying trying to sell you on it. So like that happens with a lot of movies where they try and make movies look like they aren't what they are. There was a controversy with Drive. There was a controversy with Drive when this first came out to cinemas, where people thought that the trailer and everything made it look like it was a just balls to the wall crazy action movie, and it's, if you've seen it, it's fucking nothing like that. It's a slow drama about this violent man, and it's not a crazy action movie. And it even went as far as this one woman from America, I think, tried to sue like the production company or some shit, saying that, like, I don't know, she wasted her money because she thought she was going to see an action movie or some shit, like some idiot. But again, I think if you watch as many trailers as people like me do, you start to realize what the kind of misleading points are. You kind of can figure out, that's not that, like, that's trying to make it look a little bit more something than it really is. This movie that I really loved called It Comes at Night, for example, this was a movie that a lot of people thought was going to be this very intense, scary horror movie, and that's all it was going to be, like just kind of one of those dumb, fun horror movies that you go see on Halloween or some shit. I was never expecting that from the trailer. I thought it looked like it was going to be more akin to, you know, just those more, you know, slow-paced social commentary type of horror movies. I was expecting that. That's exactly what it was, so I was fine. And, you know, looking back on it, at the time, I'm like, what? Why did these people think that it looked like that? I didn't think it looked like that at all. Looking back, maybe it did look like that to people that don't watch heaps of trailers, and I mean, you can't blame him for that. But anyway, that's not really the point. Now we've gone on a bit of a trailer rant, but let's go on. My point is, I feel like I don't always get as affected by trailers as everybody else. I feel like I don't always have something to say. I feel like I don't always want to make a video about it or read a blog about it or whatever, because I'm like, okay, cool, I know what to expect. This is a trailer, this is a movie that I'm either looking forward to or I'm not, or I've never heard of, and that's it, really. But the thing that gets views on YouTube and stuff is doing these videos and keeping up regularly and being in the hotspot kind of, and getting, if you get like something out first, like if a Star Wars trailer comes out and you have the first video about it, you're going to get a shitload of clicks for that. It's always a race on YouTube. It's always a race to get to that early spot where people are going to be looking for that stuff, where it's still a topic of interest, where they're going to be clicking on those kinds of videos no matter who you are. Because, you know, if the big professional guys, especially on YouTube specifically, like Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman, don't have a video up about something yet, you want to beat them if you can, because those are the guys that people are going to be clicking on, like, no matter what. And if you can get in before them, you might snatch up some people, you know what I mean? So that's always kind of the goal, I feel like. And yeah, again, I really struggle with that. It started to make it feel more like work. It turns into this stress, and it's like, I can't really keep up with that shit anyway. And I feel like maybe a lot of people do feel like that. And it's not just relevant to movie reviews and stuff on YouTube either. Like, it's relevant to, I'm sure it's relevant to pretty much any topic that your videos usually focus on. For example, I know my wife, she was talking about Shane Dawson and some other guy. They've brought out some makeup line or something. And if you're talking about this kind of news, if you're talking about this makeup line, for example, you're going to want to be the first to talk about that, obviously. So yeah, it's relevant to really anything. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to veer off into some different stuff so my videos stay relevant. But I mean, that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes I'm going to want to talk about what everybody else is going to talk about, because, you know, then you feel more included, and that's nice. But the beauty of, you know, the one silver lining of not having much of an audience and not having that big a fan base is that, you know, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can totally veer off if you want. I mean, same can be said to an extent for the bigger people as well, like the massive channels with millions of subscribers and stuff. Like, that's kind of what YouTube is designed for, to talk about whatever you want. But I feel like there would be more of a pressure to kind of stay on topic, you know, if you do have a bigger fan base relying on and expecting you to talk about some certain thing. Yeah, that's kind of one good thing about having a small channel. Like, I don't really have expectations. I don't really have anybody thinking, oh, I'm really looking forward to this one specific video that Jack is going to make, because I don't have that one specific thing. But I don't think that, for me personally, I don't think that that's a lack of an identity on YouTube. I think that I actually do a pretty good job of veering out into some other different subjects, always revolving around movies, but kind of going into some different stuff, but staying true to myself, if that makes sense. Like, I can do a funny one, or I can do a serious video essay kind of thing with like lots of research and stuff, or I can just do a basic movie review. Like, I feel like a lot of people do start to get a little bit of a fan base and then feel like they have to stick to a certain thing. I don't have that, so that kind of makes me glad. The only thing that I really want to exclusively stick to is to be talking about stuff that I care about, obviously. And, you know, pretty much that always comes down to movies for me anyway. My point is, if you're a creator and if you want to talk about some different stuff, I say go for it. Because again, when people that I watch do some different stuff, typically I really enjoy that. I really like when they go against the curve and they do something a bit different. I love when YouTubers that I love kind of talk about themselves a bit more. I really like to learn about the people that I look up to. And I like when they kind of bullshit. They do a funny video for a change or a serious video for a change, depending on, you know, what their norm is. So yeah, I don't know. I guess my point is I'm just encouraging you to try whatever the hell you want. Maybe that's a good point or not. I don't know. Alright, well, I think that about wraps it up for now. This video might have just been a bit rambly, but I do plan to do more videos like this because I enjoy this kind of serious, personal series that I'm doing at the moment, I guess you'd call it. And, yeah. Peace.